Hey everyone, Lisa Salvatore here with the weekly intuitive astrology and energy report for Sunday, February 27th through Sunday, March 6th. So let's get right into it. Today that I'm recording this video on February 27th, the moon is currently in the sign of Capricorn, lining up with Venus, Mars, and Pluto, all in Capricorn, and those three planets are also getting ready to meet up in an exact alignment at the end of the week. We'll get to that as we progress, but it is the energy that permeates this week, and it can feel contentious. It can feel unsettling. I'm sure we're all experiencing this. Moments of panic, anxiety, frustration, not knowing what to do. Stay in your spiritual space. Do what you can do. Get outside. Take a walk. Meditate. Spend time with your loved ones. Peel your eyes from the TV. You have to, or else you're going to, it's not good to be in that space 24/7. I'm not telling you to hide your head in the sand, although the moon is also lining up with Neptune today by a sextile. So hopefully that can help us numb out a little bit, because I think that that's necessary to an extent, but we also can't hide our head in the sand. And I don't really think that anybody is, because we can't. So anyway, that's how we're starting this week off. Now tomorrow, Monday, February 28th, the moon will be in Aquarius, and it's going to line up with Uranus. It's a square aspect. And so again, that's something about digging in our heels, staying tight to our position, maybe feeling a little bit combative. So just again, be mindful of that. Everyone's tense. Emotions are running high. Let's just be more mindful about that. The moon is also going to be lining up with both Mercury and Saturn, which are in Aquarius. So a lot of mental energy, probably a good day to do some objective work, something that doesn't require any emotionality. Monday will start that energy off. It'll be good for that. Rabbit. The moon moves into Pisces on March 1st, and then on March 2nd, we experience our new moon in Pisces. It is the most positive new moon of 2022. It's lining up with Jupiter. And so again, there's an expansive quality to this energy. It's something about, where wishes do come true. And it's really a time to get serious about what it is that we want and go into our heart space to find out for ourselves. That's what the sign of Pisces asks us to do. It also asks us to tap into our creative energy and to trust our own intuition above all else. Jupiter's here supporting us and expanding this energy. So again, overall, it can line up to be a sweet feeling. So you may just want to make a list of what it is that you wish to manifest under this new moon energy. I have a separate reading and video for that new moon in Pisces, and you can find that linked below in the comments. But let's enjoy this beautiful Pisces new moon energy while we have it, because as we get to tomorrow, things start to ramp up, pick up speed, pick up traction. We're already feeling it. So on Thursday, March 3rd, we have an alignment of Venus, Mars, and Pluto. So Venus and Mars have been together since the beginning of February. They've been traveling together, the lovers. They're deemed the lovers. Venus is the goddess of love. Mars is the god of war. Venus represents what we like. It represents how we go about getting it. Mars is our drive. And so these two together have been telling a little story. I've also linked that video below, completely separate, if you want to listen to that. But now Mars and Venus are going to meet up with Pluto, all in Capricorn, in an exact alignment at 27 degrees on Thursday, March 3rd. So Mars will meet up with Pluto first around 1 a.m. Mars will conjunct Pluto. Now, this is significant because Mars and Pluto are, when they come into contact with one another, even by a soft aspect, it can be explosive. It can produce fireworks. It can be a contentious energy. It's like this, both Mars and Pluto, they fight, and they fight to win. And the thing is, on a deeper level, Mars, the planet Mars, also represents some of the things that Mars represents are, again, war, because he's the god of war, but also he's the soldier. Mars represents the military. Mars represents the police force, okay? And Mars represents, assertive action and fighting. And in Capricorn, Mars is at the height of his power. He is exalted in the sign of Capricorn. It's one of his most favorite places to be. He fights to win. He goes to battle. That's Mars. Pluto is the lord of the underworld. Pluto is known to be a very slow-moving planet. He is a very slow-moving planet. He's been underway for a while. His effects have been being felt very subtly and then not so subtly, right? It culminates, and that's when we recognize it, but it's been going on for a long time. Pluto is the finger, the button on the pulse. Okay, that's Pluto. Now, these two coming up in an exact alignment, Pluto fights as well. Pluto doesn't cease. Neither does Mars. Neither one of them give up. The difference between Mars and Pluto is, well, Pluto is all about power and control. So it's not necessarily to win, although that's a huge part of it, but it's about domination, power, and control. And again, all in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn speaks to the government. Capricorn speaks to the societal structures that we live under, that we abide by. So anyway, just pointing out what these planets represent and how, this could represent what we're seeing play out. Not to say it's responsible for it necessarily, but we can correlate the planets to what we see going on. Now, as we go on a little bit later, Venus will then catch up to Mars and Pluto at about 10:37 a.m. approximately. Now Venus is in the mix, so now it's this exact alignment of Venus, Mars, and Pluto. So I'm going to read the Sabian symbol for 27 Capricorn because that Venus, Mars, Pluto conjunction is very significant. It's at 27 degrees of Capricorn. The Sabian symbols, if you don't know, there's one for each degree of the zodiac. So there's 360 Sabian symbols. They're very prophetically profound. I like to read them for almost all the degrees of everything, but because this is so significant, I want to share it. So hear me out. This is the Sabian symbol for Capricorn 27. A mountain pilgrimage. This is a symbol of a pyramiding reality on the side of inner or spiritual realization in a complete harmony of all the ideals and values ever developed by man. Here is an indomitable integrity of human comprehension and an intensification of every vision to which intelligence might aspire. The individual is encouraged to hold unswervingly to the ultimate course he has chosen for himself. The key word is perseverance. When positive, the degree is a total reconciliation of mind and heart in an unquestioned devotion to some worthwhile task at hand, and when negative, satisfaction in superficial alliances and a parade of false virtue. Excuse me, it's not alliances, in superficial allegiances and a parade of false virtue. To me, that's pretty powerful. So that's the Sabian symbol for this Mars, Pluto, Venus conjunction at 27 Capricorn. Now, later on that day, that evening, the moon is going to shift into Aries. Now, let's remember the moon in Aries can also be very combative. So this could just kind of further intensify the theme of this day, the theme of this week even. And then on Friday the 4th, astrologically, I don't want to say it's quiet because it's not quiet, but on the 4th, it actually is kind of quiet, but energetically, it is not quiet. We are still under the energy of the previous couple of weeks, especially this Mars, Pluto, Venus alignment. They're still very much underway and in effect. And then we get to March 5th, and the sun will conjunct Jupiter, which could be really nice, okay? It's positive. It bodes well for creative energy. It bodes well for physical energy, although it's in Pisces, so that might err more towards the intuitive spiritual space versus the outward yang energy, but still there's some sort of energy produced here, and it could feel pretty positive. It could give us some hope, some faith, some possibility. That moon in Aries is in a supportive aspect to both Saturn and Mercury, which are in Aquarius, which could help us, it's like a meeting of our minds. We get things done. We can feel much more productive, although we may be very sleepy because between whatever's going on outside of us, collectively we're picking up on that, and then also what our own reality is. So we could feel a little tired at this time. The moon is in Aries though, so that could be helping us stay a little more energetic. And then later on that day, the moon will square off with Pluto in Capricorn. And so again, mind your words. Watch your actions, watch your thoughts, watch your feelings. It could be very easy to get into arguments with others, especially arguments having to do with what's going on again outside of us. So don't go there. It's not necessary. There's so much tumultuous energy. Why add to it? Again, try to pull it back to the Pisces. Let's stick with the Pisces energy right now with the new moon in Pisces that we're just coming off of at this point. The sun and Jupiter, Neptune are all in Pisces. So there's something here about, go to your spiritual place. Be kind, be compassionate, be loving. Find the good in everyone and everything, okay? There's some of it everywhere. We just need to dig a little deeper these days, but that is what will carry us through. We can't stay in this space of fear all the time because it's just completely unhealthy. It's okay to go there here and there and go into the panic because I think we're all experiencing that. But try to do what you can to shift that energy, and arguing with others is not going to be something that's going to help you there. It's only going to serve to intensify the stress and anxiety. The reason I keep talking about all of this is because I just feel like this upcoming week is going to be really hard to stay grounded. And You may find that you're grounded and then somebody pulls you into their feelings or their situation, and all of a sudden, you're spinning out again. And it's going to be hard to not do that. It's going to be hard to anchor, but that's why whatever modalities you have, whatever you use to help keep you in that grounded space, get them ready. Write them down so that they're aware, so that you're aware of them and that they're ready for you to implement when these moments of fear, panic, anxiety, when all of this strikes, because it inevitably it will this week, whether it's coming from you or someone you love or someone you know, or from outside of you, it doesn't matter. There's going to be this space of, I need to ground myself. I'm not really a terribly anxious person. I'm being totally honest. I've definitely had my own experience with anxiety many years back, but these days, whenever I get hit with anxious feelings, I'm not saying they're not, that 90% of the time they're not mine, but a lot of the times they're not mine. And last week is a perfect example. I was completely fine, and out of nowhere, I just got hit with these feelings of panic and had to sit down and ground myself. And I realized it passed after a couple of minutes, but I do pick up on the collective energy quite easily, especially when it's extremely intense. It's that much harder for me because I'm not being, it's not as easy for me to just go into that space and tune it out. And so I had a rough patch there for a couple days last week, but I got out of it. And so I think whatever it is that works for you is what you need to do. So just, if you haven't even figured that out yet, I would highly suggest you find something. Find some, meditative music that you can zen out to. An exercise that you like that helps you just tune out. Whatever it is, playing with your kids, hula hooping, I don't care what it is. Just find it, do it, embody it, because you're probably going to need it this week. There's something about being an anchor at times for you, and then you're doing it at times for others, and others at times will do it for you. And then we get to Sunday, March 6th, and we have a nice, interesting, futuristic, future-orientated aspect here. So Mars and Venus, again, are going to meet up at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And again, you can check out the video I've done on Mars and Venus, which goes into much more detail about their transit. But so Mars and Venus are going to meet up at 0 degrees of Aquarius on Sunday, March 6th at what time? Around 2 in the morning. But it's okay if you're sleeping, because we're still going to be under this energy for a little bit. And think about when we had the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction of 2020 at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Now, even though we were under the pandemic, the height of it, and there was a lot going on, that was still a very futuristic and positive energy of hope and possibility again, because there's something about Aquarius that says, move forward into the future, do things a different way, do things a better way, be innovative. So, and at 0 degrees, it's the beginning, it's the very beginning, it's a fresh slate, it's a blank slate, a clean start, and it's Mars and Venus in Aquarius. Actually, Mars will enter Aquarius first at around 2 a.m. and then Venus will enter around 3 something a.m. I think. Yeah, 3 o'clock a.m. around that time. So neck and neck, right, one after the other. And then the moon will enter Taurus not long thereafter, and we know the moon loves to be in Taurus. He's exalted there, she's exalted in the sign of Taurus. So again, that can help further ground us. That can give us that grounded, peaceful energy. Get out into nature. That will definitely help, because as that moon enters Taurus, it's going to square off with Mars and Venus, because Mars and Venus are now in Aquarius. So, again, like always, mixed bag of energy. It's never smooth. Well, sometimes it's really smooth sailing. But lately it's been uncharted waters, right? There's a lot to navigate. There's a lot emotionally, physically, and spiritually. We're going through it. So I did pull a card normally I shuffle on camera, but I did it earlier after my meditation, and it was a postcard from Spirit, and I liked the message. So rather than do a tarot card for the week ahead, I'm going to share this message. Selfless giving is an elixir so sweet and life-giving and amazing that it should be customary for everyday living. Right now, generosity is being asked of you. Let go of a debt, release an obligation, or do a solid kindness to someone for no other reason than as an exercise of the heart. You will be surprised how quickly a generous heart is repaid. We know it often doesn't happen in the immediate exchange, so temper your expectations. Know that life has an uncanny way of sending miracles seemingly unrelated to your kindness, yet interconnected in magical ways. The more you act from generosity, the bigger your heart grows and the more love and abundance you will experience. We also know that someone could be entering your life with a generous offer for you. Take it and trust you are worthy and deserving of it. You have to receive, not just give. So I felt like that was a nice collective message about kindness, empathy, and compassion, which we've been talking a lot about because of Pisces and Jupiter in Pisces and this new moon in Pisces, which does center around a lot of those words. But furthering that is charity. You know, I always say charity work. Like if there's something you can do to help another in their time of need, do it. You will not feel badly. You will only feel better about yourself and you'll feel good. It's just something, you know, being kind is cool, right? You want to be kind. You want to be compassionate. You want to be empathetic. You want to help others. A really good book I want to recommend. You guys know I'm all about the book recommendations. I love to read. The book I wanted to recommend is A Paradise Built in Hell. And it's just an excellent book. It speaks about human altruism. And I just find that given the times that we are under and going through at the moment, it's a really beneficial book. And again, remember, kindness always wins. Well, for us. So let's maintain that space. Take really good care of yourselves, guys, and I'll be back next week with another video.